America runs on breakfast, but let's be honest, not every morning meal is worth rolling out of bed for. We've eaten our way through stacks of pancakes, piles of hash browns, and more coffee refills than we'd ever admit to rank the biggest breakfast chains from worst to best. Some choices may surprise you, some will feel inevitable, but at least you'll know where to grab a plate that won't sabotage your morning. Starting at the very bottom of our list of breakfast chains is Huddle House, and there are plenty of reasons it earned that unfortunate spot. Walk into a Huddle House during breakfast hours and you'll notice something odd right away. Dozens of empty tables, yet somehow you're still stuck waiting. By the time food finally appears, the mystery deepens. Pancakes arrive simultaneously raw in the middle and burnt at the edges, as if the griddle is running two different temperatures at once. It's like the equipment was designed by someone who never passed basic physics. Customer satisfaction surveys aren't kind either. Huddle House lands near the bottom, with roughly 68% of online reviews mentioning food arriving cold. Average wait from order to plate? About 23 minutes, which feels eternal when you've got an empty stomach. The hash browns deserve their own caution label. What should be crispy, golden shreds often appear pale, limp, and oily. And the coffee? It tastes like someone tried to describe coffee to the kitchen using interpretive dance. It technically exists, but it's not quite there. What's truly puzzling is how Huddle House has survived since 1964, with more than 300 locations spread across the country. Either the marketing is masterful, or some neighborhoods have collectively lowered their breakfast standards out of sheer convenience. Staff seem constantly overwhelmed. Not rude, just stretched thin, which only adds to the disappointment when your server sighs softly while pouring orange juice that tastes more like flavored water than fruit. You can almost hear the juice whimpering as it hits the glass. Perhaps the most telling stat: 72% of Huddle House customers can't name a signature dish that keeps them coming back. People don't return for a favorite. They just end up there when better judgment fails. Next time you're driving and spot that familiar sign, maybe keep rolling for another exit. Up ahead, you might see a familiar royal crown promising breakfast. But as we're about to discover, not every breakfast kingdom deserves your loyalty. Next on our list is Burger King, a place where breakfast ambitions go to nap. This fast food giant may rule the burger lane, but when it comes to morning meals, that crown gets slippery. On paper, the menu sounds tempting: croissant sandwiches, breakfast burritos, hash browns, and coffee. In practice, the bite hits differently. Eggs arrive with the springy texture of a yoga mat. Scrambled eggs have spent so much time in the microwave that they feel like they're glowing. According to industry reporting, about 73% of fast food breakfast items arrive frozen at restaurants. Burger King pushes that even higher, with close to 85% of breakfast components coming pre-made and frozen. That helps explain the uniform grill marks on sausage patties that somehow never taste like they've met an actual grill. Hash browns? Imagine potato-flavored sponges that took a long bath and forgot to crisp up. Temperature consistency seems to be an unfamiliar concept. One bite of your sandwich is chilly, the next threatens to scorch your tongue, and the coffee doesn't redeem the moment. In recent taste tests, Burger King's brew slotted near the bottom tier, 12th out of 15 chains. It's the kind of coffee that makes plain tap water seem expressive. What makes it extra frustrating is the timeline. Burger King has had since 1979 to refine its breakfast playbook. More than 4 decades. That's a long time to leave customers thinking they should have just had cereal at home. If there's one consolation, it's the price. Your wallet won't cry. But stick with us, because some places up this list actually remember what breakfast is supposed to taste like. If you've ever heard of or been to a Huddle House, or subjected yourself to a Burger King breakfast meal, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Frugal finds for you. Moving up our breakfast list brings us to Denny's, the chain that feels like the friend who peaked in high school. Remember when Denny's was actually good? A lot of breakfast fans do. The bright yellow and red sign once signaled a reliable hot plate. Decent pancakes, eggs done right, service that got the job done. But something shifted over the years. Industry reports showed Denny's has closed over 150 locations in the past decade, while customer satisfaction ratings slipped by about 23%. The Grand Slam breakfast, its crown jewel, used to look like a magazine photo. Now it hits the table like it had a rough night. Bacon that's given up on life. Eggs are in the midst of an identity crisis. Pancakes with the texture of a frisbee that was left in the rain. Prices, meanwhile, climbed about 32% over 5 years. A basic breakfast for two can top $25, which puts it in the this better be great category. Spoiler, it usually isn't. Coffee deserves special attention. Denny's proudly offers bottomless refills, which sounds amazing until you taste the first cup. It's as if they're daring you to see how many mugs of gym sock water you'll drink before giving up. Interiors don't help. Many locations look frozen in 1997. Sticky booths, laminated menus with faded photos. A nostalgia trip, but not the good kind. What's particularly sad is that Denny's was once the undisputed king of late-night dining. College students, overnight workers, night owls, everyone knew Denny's would be open and edible at 3 a.m. Today, those same folks are more likely to risk a gas station taquito. Still, Denny's has one thing in its corner. It's open 24/7. When the clock is weird and hunger strikes, availability counts for something. Which nudges us to our next stop, where at least you know exactly what you're going to get. Sitting squarely in the middle of our ranking is IHOP, the International House of Pancakes. What makes IHOP special? Honestly, the fact that it's not special at all. And sometimes predictable is exactly what you need. IHOP runs about 1,657 locations across the U.S., a whole lot of blue roofs dotting the map. Roughly 94% of them followed the same menu, prep methods, and layout. That dedication to sameness means your IHOP in Miami feels eerily similar to your IHOP in Seattle. The pancakes, the main attraction, are perfectly adequate. Not amazing, not awful. They occupy a strange breakfast limbo of good enough. Think of them as the solid C student who never causes problems and never wins awards. They'll fill you up, deliver a decent sugar rush, and leave you with zero strong opinions. IHOP's eggs and breakfast meats live in that same acceptable mediocrity zone. The bacon won't change your life, but it won't make you question your choices either. The scrambled eggs are yellow, taste like eggs, and arrive warm, checking the 3 basic boxes. One fun trivia nugget. IHOP reportedly serves somewhere around 700 million pancakes each year. Stack those and you'd have a tower high enough to make aliens curious. Coffee gets a special call out for being aggressively average. It's brown, it's caffeinated, it arrives in a white mug. Coffee snobs may be offended, everyone else? Mission accomplished. Price-wise, IHOP sits squarely in the middle. Not cheap enough to brag about, not pricey enough to trigger expectations. A typical breakfast for 2 runs about $20, which feels fair for what's on the plate. As we move to First Watch, you'll see what happens when a breakfast chain tries harder, dresses up the menu, and charges you for the glow-up. Next on our list is First Watch. The answer to the question, why does breakfast, the cheapest meal to make at home, suddenly cost dinner money when you go out? First Watch knows the reason because people will pay for it. This fast-growing brand now tops 420 locations across 29 states. They close at 2 p.m., proudly declaring themselves breakfast and brunch people. Translation: serve breakfast at dinner prices and still take half the day off. The menu leans trendy. Avocado toast, quinoa bowls, power grains, and cold-pressed juices. Expect to spend $14 to $18 per person, nearly double the IHOP tab. It's what happens when Instagram gets a vote in what you eat. Now, to be fair, the food quality is genuinely better than the chains we've covered so far. The eggs taste like eggs from actual chickens. Fruit tastes fresh, not defrosted, but the markups are legendary. That $11 avocado toast costs maybe $1.50 to make. That avocado's profit margin could fund a startup. Credit where it's due, the coffee's good. The juice is fresh squeezed daily. You can taste the difference. Turns out, not using juice from a dusty carton is a step up. Who knew? First watch is the pivot point in our list where quality starts to justify cost, at least on the plate. The food won't let you down, but your wallet may raise an eyebrow. For folks willing to step off the national highway, our next stop shows what a regional gem can do. Further up our breakfast hierarchy is Biscuitville, proof that geography might be the only thing standing between you and morning happiness. With about 65 locations in North Carolina and Virginia, this southern treasure stays off most people's radar. It's like the Breakfast Witness Protection Program. Amazing, but hard to find. Their secret? Biscuits are made from scratch every 15 minutes. If your biscuit hits 16 minutes, it doesn't get served. That level of freshness makes most relationships look lazy by comparison. Unlike the big dogs, Biscuitville buys from nearby farms. Eggs come from local producers. Coffee's roasted just miles away. That local approach explains why everything tastes like actual food. Their chart topper, the ultimate bacon biscuit, sells more than 2 million units a year. Enough bacon to make a cardiologist sigh and a hog farmer grin. Prices sit around $7 for a filling breakfast. Interiors are simple and clean. No gimmicks. Letting the food take the spotlight. Food pros often point out that regional chains' quality is better because they don't need to standardize for thousands of locations. As we keep climbing, we'll see that even national brands can learn from regional wisdom. Now we're cooking with gas. Waffle House lands in the top 3 because some places have lasted forever for a reason. With around 1,900 locations in 25 states, this 24-hour icon thrives on relentless consistency. The menu has barely budged since 1955, proof that not all progress requires adding kale to everything. Every location has an open kitchen so you can watch your order come to life. Their hash browns even have their own language. Scattered, smothered, covered, chunked. It's like ordering in breakfast Morse code. And here's a wild benchmark. During disasters, FEMA uses the Waffle House index to gauge severity. If the local Waffle House is closed, you know things are truly bad. Prices remain impressively friendly. A full breakfast under $10 is still common. The vinyl booths might be a little worn, but the waffles are always right. And there's no mystery. You order, it sizzles, it lands on your plate fast. As good as Waffle House is, our next contender has quietly turned breakfast into a well-oiled machine, even though they close every Sunday. Unlike many chains that sag with age, Chick-fil-A has gotten sharper since adding breakfast in 1986. Taking our number 2 slot is this chicken specialist that unexpectedly mastered mornings. With more than 2,600 locations, they serve breakfast until 10:30 a.m., a cutoff that creates more drama than a snooze button on deadline day. The menu keeps things simple: chicken biscuits, breakfast burritos, and hash browns. That straightforward approach helped drive breakfast sales up roughly 39% over 5 years. What sets them apart? Fresh chicken, scratch-made biscuits at many locations, and service that's consistently ranked number 1 in fast food. Their team is so cheerful at 6 a.m., it makes you suspect they're powered by sunshine. Price-wise, you're in the $5 to $7 zone, the sweet spot between drive-through pricing and sit-down quality. As excellent as it is, there's still one more stop, a brand that turned coffee into a full-blown morning culture. Climbing toward the breakfast summit, next up is Dutch Bros Coffee. Born in the Pacific Northwest, this chain has grown to 600-plus locations across 14 states, with a fan base that borders on cultish. In a nice way, average wait time during the morning rush? Around 23 minutes. People wait longer for their Dutch Bros run than they do for certain doctor appointments. And somehow they leave happy. Dutch Bros focuses on drinks first, with a tight set of food options. The drink menu explodes with customization. More than 10,000 possible combinations thanks to flavors, temps, milk choices, and add-ons. They sell upward of 70 million beverages a year. Wild numbers given that most locations are drive-through, only with no indoor seating. Average ticket for a drink sits near $5.50. Premium feel without punishing your wallet. While Dutch Bros absolutely owns the beverage lane, our top spot goes to a place that marries coffee, comfort food, and atmosphere into something bigger than breakfast. We've reached the peak of breakfast excellence with our number one pick, Cracker Barrel. This restaurant meets country store combo has earned the top spot the old-fashioned way. Consistency. With 660 plus locations across 45 states, Cracker Barrel serves more than 200 million guests annually. Breakfast is served all day and accounts for about 40% of sales, which pretty much guarantees you won't have missed breakfast by 3 minutes panic. What makes their breakfast superior? A lot of it still starts from scratch every morning. The biscuit recipe has remained the same since 1969. Hash brown casserole is made with a 6-cheese blend because restraint is not the point. Pancakes arrive so fluffy you might want to weigh them down. Across the system, they crack more than 400,000 eggs a day. Customer surveys consistently rank them at or near the top, with satisfaction hovering around 88%. Pricing stays reasonable. Most platters fall between $9 and $13, and portions are generous enough that leftovers aren't just possible, they're probable. Our whole journey shows a simple truth. Quality ingredients, consistent execution, and a bit of tradition still win the morning. Before we wrap, let's hit a few smart ordering tips so your next breakfast run, wherever you go, actually delivers. First, manage the egg gamble. If a place is known for inconsistent eggs, order them over medium or over hard. It's easier to nail a firm yolk than to perfectly time a jammy one in a slammed kitchen. Second, hash browns are all about timing. Ask for well done or extra crispy. Those two words can be the difference between soggy and glorious. Third, pancakes travel poorly. If you're taking breakfast to go, consider waffles. The ridges hold up better in a box. Fourth, beware of value combos that load up on starch and skimp on protein. Swap toast for fruit or potatoes for an extra egg if you want to feel human after 11 a.m. Fifth, taste your coffee first, then order the second cup. Unlimited refills aren't a perk if the first mug tastes like regret. Now, a few quick chain-specific pointers. Huddle House. If you must, keep it simple. Eggs and toast are safer than griddle items. Burger King. Croissant which can be okay in a pinch. Skip the hash browns unless you enjoy potato sponges. Denny's. Order off the build-your-own style options to control freshness and sides. IHOP. Pancakes are fine. Consider a split. One sweet short stack plus a protein on the side. First Watch. Lean into the fresher dishes. The juice and coffee are worth it. The markups on basics are not. Biscuitville. Biscuit plus protein is the move. If it's busy, that's good. The biscuits will be peak fresh. Waffle House. Hash browns, scattered and well done. Add onions and cheese if that's your vibe. Chick-fil-A. Chicken biscuit. Full stop. If you want lighter, the egg white grill is actually solid. Dutch Brewers. Know your sweetness level. Ask for half sweet if you don't want a sugar bomb at 8 a.m. Cracker Barrel. You can't go wrong with a traditional breakfast. Upgrade one side to fruit and you've got balance. At the end of the day, or the start of it, breakfast shouldn't feel like a gamble. If you're paying, it should taste like morning optimism, not a compromise. Our ranking gives you a roadmap. Where to skip, where to survive, and where to actually smile between sips of coffee. So the next time that early hunger hits, pick your spot wisely. Because a great morning doesn't start with a perfect alarm. It starts with a plate that's worth waking up for. Thanks for watching. If this helped you shop with clearer eyes, share it with a friend who loves a good meal. Because a real meal isn't just cheap, it's safe, clean, and worth eating. This is Frugla Finds for you. Stay sharp out there and remember to shop smarter, not harder.
Get your coffee from the folks that know coffee inside and out. For over 60 years,